Lockett to score, and the Vics were away. Mitchell to Scott for another, and the home side was on fire. A perfect example being a sensational mark taken by Gavin Brown. When Tony Lockett tapped down to Dunstall for another, South Australia was in trouble, although Steve Kernahan pulled one back for the Vics to lead by 31 points at quarter time. The second term was a more even contest. A mark and goal to Darren Jarman gave the Crow Eaters heart, but again the Vics little men were in everything. Darren Pritchard kicked a gem on the run, and then Geelong teammates Robert Scott and Neville Bruns combined brilliantly for another to increase the Vics lead to 36 points at the main break. A tragic start to the third quarter for South Australia and Hawthorn was what appeared to be a serious knee injury to Tony Hall. The irony was that club teammate Andy Collins applied the tackle. The Crow Eaters then got moving as Darren Jarman socked through his second, but it made little difference. Bewes to Waitman for a magnificent snap was the ideal reply, but more was to come. Lockett got the ball to Dunstall, and when he booted his third, it was all but over. Vics continued on in the last. Watson to Bruns for a goal.
Bruns will goal.
Another followed as Waitman hand passed to Murphy.
Murphy's shot for goal is there.
And then Tony Lockett found Brereton for another as the Vics nailed the coffin shut. A minor scuffle was too late to unsettle Victoria as Andrew Bewes booted another, and the home side had run out convincing Wooders by 86 points. The record crowd of nearly 92,000 all went home happy.
And after the match, Michael Roberts spoke to an elated Victorian coach, Billy Goggin.
How critical was it for Victoria to win today?
Well, it meant everything to us, because if we lost today, we're just, we're starting from way behind. But the way they played and the way they put in, tremendous. We've got the crown back. We're looking like, it could go on for a while now, because the pressure that was on us as a group and as a team was been unbearable since the bicentenary grand finals, and there was only one answer we could give, and we've shown it, and we've given it today.
And in the South Australian room, coach John Cale was full of admiration for the home team.
They played scintillating football, tremendous football they played, and where we thought we'd have strengths around the ball, they dominated. And so we just seemed to be under pressure all the time. Our defence was constantly under pressure because players were able to deliver the ball. But you can't take anything away from Victoria, the way they played. It was great football and the best brand of football you could play.
It was a bad day for Tony Hall. Apart from being carried off, he was also reported for allegedly striking Tim Darcy in the first quarter. One match in the VFA today.
The best a man can get, CUB, one of the world's great brewers, BP on the move, and State Bank. We never forget it's your money.
Tonight on Saturday Night Replay, State of Origin action. Victoria, for the first time in 18 years, plays South Australia on the MCG. Victoria in recent years has struggled against the Crow Eaters. In fact, their last win was back in 1985. This time, the Vics have opted for an attacking team combining pace, youth and experience. But South Australia is ready. Despite their recent wins, they've not won at the MCG since 1963. On that day, John Cale played for South Australia. Today, he's hoping to coach them to victory.
Yes, a very good evening, everyone, and welcome to our special replay of the State of Origin game between South Australia and Victoria. It was the first interstate contest in Victoria for some 9 years, and the first between South Australia and Victoria on the MCG since 1971. If statistics matter, the Crow Eaters were chasing their first win at the ground since 1963, but of course times have changed since then. The State of Origin concept came in 1977, and it should be mentioned that the South Australians have won their last 3 contests against the Vics. For interstate football, it was a very important day. Arguably, it was even more so from a Victorian point of view, while the South Australians had never entertained a thought of returning home as losers. A tremendous crowd of 91,960 was in attendance for the match, with fine conditions forecast and the possibility of some showers later on. Our commentators are Sandy Roberts, Ian Robertson and Don Scott, and we pick up play with the bounce at the start of the first quarter.
State of Origin football back at the MCG, and I see Lockett and Dunstall both down in the square for Victoria. It is Victoria kicking it to the left of screen. South Australia to the right. Simon Madden, the Victorian captain, winning the free kick out of the centre. Interesting to note today's game also, we will have 15, not 50-metre penalties. Here's a chance for the Victorians. Dunstall could have been pushed. Ace goes towards the boundary line. It's taken over and a throw.
Interesting that first bounce, the way that Danaher and Stoneham got in there really quickly. Had anyone been standing flat-footed, they would have been cleaned up at that centre bounce.
Here's the throw in again. Stoneham, the meat in the sandwich, trying to thread his way through was Mitchell. Couldn't do so. The tackling is fierce. Platten comes away. The advantage will not be paid. Platten thinks it has been, but it will come back to Michael Aish, who will take it in the back pocket. So Aish to get South Australia out of trouble. Conditions perfect for football in this ground. It's been rested for a couple of weeks and stood up pretty well. Weaving his way through is Waitman. Threads it back towards Scott. Tries to go back again. Even wider. Pressure now on the Victorians. Scooping it out was Paul Couch, a prolific kick winner. Back to Waitman again. In towards Scott. Scott shoots a goal, but he goes across the face. And we will see a throw in the right forward pocket.
That was a bad miss there by Scott. No left foot whatsoever. He went onto his left side. Should have kicked it. Easy left foot shot at goal, but tried to kick it with the right.
Throw in the right forward pocket for Victoria. Lockett trying to use his strength. Can't get it clear. He goes down over the football once again. With him is Greg Phillips. And we will see another bounce.
He's a big man, Lockett, isn't he?
It's going to be interesting to see how that duo fares up in the forward line today. Lockett goes over the top once again. Hands on hips, just watching proceedings. There's big Michael Redden. And handing over the football is Bruce Abernethy, who Victorians and South Australians both know pretty well. Free kick. It's going to go back. He's again not allowing the advantage. Umpires Peter Carey and Laurie Argent in charge of proceedings today. Mick Redden is certainly not happy with the decision, but it is going to go back and it will be taken by Tony Lockett. So Lockett a chance for first blood. 25 metres out, almost directly in front. The St Kilda star forward coming back from suspension. A chance to give the Vics a 6-point lead and open the scoring for the day. Lockett stabs and makes no mistake. First goal to Victoria.
And that is the start that Victoria wanted. They've attacked very aggressively early on. Dunstall appealed for the first free kick that came down there, ducked his head, looked to the umpire, but it's good to see the other one down there, Lockett, playing aggressively. And there was a free kick being awarded to Lockett, and a very accurate kick for goal is Tony Lockett.
I think South Australia would probably feel a little bit disappointed with that umpiring decision. There didn't look to be much in it from my point of view, but we're back in the centre now. Redden, big, strong, South Australian. Punched on there for Victoria by Pritchard. The ball not quite out of that centre circle area. Gavin Brown in there for the Vics, but no one can do much with the ball. So we'll have another ball up. Only a couple of metres forward for Victoria. Madden and Redden. Comes to Aish for South Australia. A kick towards centre half forward. Now coming through strongly is Lyon for Victoria. The kick slews off the side of his boot. Scott. Great mark by the Victorian rover. He gets back quickly. Thumps it to within goal scoring distance. It's about 30 metres out. A big punch away by Delaney. Now there's a chance for Bradley. He can't get the ball out. Now he taps it out wide. There's a chance now for Victoria through Buse. Buse shot for goal is offline to the left and through for another behind. So Victoria doing all the scoring. 1-1-7. Leads South Australia yet to score.
Good to see Buse run in a straight line and attack that ball vigorously.
Roger Delaney will bring the ball back into play for South Australia. Delaney, the left footer. Coming to the members' flank. The kick is wide. It will be kept in play over by Abernethy, who gets his kick down towards centre wing. Close to the boundary line and not going to be kept in on this occasion by Mark Nayley. Nayley, as South Australians are aware, is now with Carlton. Here's the throw in. Madden palms it down. Platten a chance. Can't take it. Scott ripped off the football. And we'll get a free kick. Robert Scott. Short. And marked by Andrew Buse, his club teammate. Buse has been busy early. Kicks in towards half forward. Dunstall in from the side. Can't complete the mark. They pounce upon it. Anderson is there for South Australia. And another ball up to take place, with at the bottom of the pack being Gavin Brown.
It's a congested forward line for Victoria. They've got to move the ball in quickly to get advantage.
Waitman's kick goes in towards the left forward pocket. Lockett will tap it back, or try to, for Dunstall. It almost worked. Pushing the ball along in front and looking for the free kick is Barry Mitchell. So Mitchell in the left forward pocket on a pretty tight angle.
Lay down Mazeg.
Plays on, shoots in towards goal. Great looking kick. Has it made the distance? Was it touched? Did it hit the post?
Free kick.
Free kick on the very last line of defence to be taken by Danny Hughes.
Yes, a definite free kick against Lockett there, and Hughes elects to go to the outer side. Prodigious punt kick by Danny Hughes. Marking contest. No one can gather except Stephen Stretch for South Australia. His kick is wide over the boundary line on the full, and Victoria will go back into attack.
Unlike Stretch, he should know this ground pretty well, and that
I think they're all pumped up, Sandy. The players still to settle down. Very much like a grand final, this atmosphere. Fantastic stuff. Gary Lyon, adaptable Melbourne player, kicks it in towards the centre. No gather. Now a chance there for Couch. He can't break clear. Pressure is pretty much on. Bradley, kick in towards the centre, and the free kick up the field. Taken there by Nailey. Nailey's kick towards half forward. No mark. It goes to the back. Chance for Kernahan. He gets the hand pass out the back. There's no one home for South Australia. Struggling hard for them is Jarman. That's Darren Jarman. And the umpire will come in and ball it up about 25 metres from the South Australian goal.
Brett Lovett only went with one hand. The ball's not going to run. It's going to stick. It's better to put two hands down and grab the ball. Put your body over it.
Madden wins it, but down to Platten, who gets a short kick. It goes wide. A chance for Chris Langford to repel the attack. He kicks long, up towards centre wing. Stretch came in and missed. Stretch will try again. Good shepherding, sees him clear. He can drift it in towards the centre. It's effective. Finds Andrew Jarman. Jarman to half forward, and the mark is taken by Ash.
Good skills then by the South Australians. You give them a sniff like that, they're very skilled players, as are the Western Australians. Deliver the ball exceptionally well. It's good play.
6 Magarey medalists in this side, and we've just seen 2 of them, Jarman and Aish. The drop punt is long in towards full forward. Just missed and one behind. So South Australia one behind, trailing by 1 straight kick, and a large contingent of South Australians making the journey across the border as Langford goes to the outer side. No mark taken. Platten pushing along in front. Now the hand pass comes out. Here's a chance for Andrew Jarman again in towards full forward, but Langford again on the last line of defence marks.
The Rock of Gibraltar, Chris Langford, on that full back line for Victoria. Very composed. The drop punt over 50 metres out towards half back. It goes through Darren Jarman's arms. Chance there for Buse. Gavin Brown gets it out now to Mitchell. Mitchell plays on quickly, kicks it towards centre half forward, and chipping in, taking a nice mark is Terry Danaher. He chips it out wide to the pocket, and Dunstall's let out well in front of Delaney, and Dunstall takes the mark 50 metres from goal. Short pass, great one, and Lockett. Well, it's working, Don.
Well, it's all started with the courage of Terry Danaher. Then he backed into that packet towards the centre of the ground, that high mark, played on quickly to the leading Dunstall, who is an exceptional lead. And then the ship started to spring a few leaks, and Dunstall and Lockett got away. And it was a good passage of play by the Vics.
Dunstall very, very clever, very athletic. Lockett, the big bulk. Tony Lockett, he's already kicked 1. Drop punt, it's okay.
Victoria leads by 12 points as Madden thumps it down towards the half-forward line once again. Mitchell gets the hand pass wide. It'll be a free kick. It will go back to Mitchell. Stabs it in towards half-forward. Danaher again. Well, Victoria doing 95% of the attacking.
It's too tall for Stephen Stretch.
Danaher from 50 metres. Has Lockett in the square. Dunstall drops back. Well, he tried to get onto a torp. It didn't work. Lockett burst through. Socket off the ground. Down towards Anderson. A chance to clear for South Australia. Quickly onto the left foot, but he kicked blindly. Straight back to Danaher.
He started well, Terry Danaher.
Good pressure by Gavin Brown on Anderson there to cause him to muff that kick.
Again from 50 metres. And he gets onto this one. It's a beautiful kick in towards full forward. Just drifting across the pack on the last line is Mick Redden. Redden to the outer side, always put Anderson under pressure once again, but he does have support. Platten can get away, just a little bit too slow, but he does get the hand pass. The running player is Andrew Jarman. Across the stretch, through the centre goes Stretch, who might get caught. Just gets his kick in time. Kernahan's the target, and he finds it. Not paid. That's the call. Now the umpire comes back and says Stephen Kernahan.
Yes, what is a defender supposed to do? I mean, he did everything right in punching the ball away, and surely you have to hang on to it, don't you, Don?
Well, I suppose he might have held then, but then again, I believe he punched the ball away. The thing that Langford did was to surrender front position initially.
Kernahan, a chance to post South Australia's first. It's certainly not deathly quiet at the moment. Kernahan shoots. Has he goal? First one to South Australia.
Well, I suppose the 2 goals coming in this game to each side have come through free kicks. Doubtful free kicks. The first one was to Tony Lockett for a ruck infringement. On that occasion, whether it be a free or a mark, it's open to debate, but the umpire ruled that Stephen Kernahan take the kick, and he has, and it's the first goal to South Australia.
So great contest up there at full forward. Kernahan and Langford bounce back in the centre. Madden absolutely slaughtering them at the centre bounces. Bradley gets the hand pass back. A bad fumble there by Phillips, and he still has the ball. It's been kept in beautifully by Terry Danaher, and we'll have a ball up very close to that centre circle.
And you called it, Ian. I think they've got to get a change. Micken's got to come in and start and jump into Madden to get some ascendancy at that first bounce, because Redden's just not quite up to it.
So again, up over the top, Bradley. Wide hand pass by Waitman, finds Pritchard with a little bit of space. Pritchard's kick into the forward line. Dunstall, great lead, great kick. Hawthorn teammates. Lockett looking for the big thump back into the square. Dunstall drop punt kick to the front of the square. Lockett can't mark. Big punch away. The South Australian defence under pressure. Andrew Jarman, hand pass, now a knock on, Stretch. Into the centre. Victoria have the numbers. Madden's hand pass a little too short. Danaher quick. Kicks it high towards full forward. And Redden takes a good mark. Good play across that back line. Not doing enough in the ruck, Jules. Abernathy, good pressure by Scott. And the South Australian kicks the ball over the line on the full. A free kick to be taken by Terry Danaher just inside 50 metres.
That'll bring back memories for Bruce Abernathy. A bit of pressure.
So Terry Danaher, very, very consistent performer in state games. The short pass. Waitman can't mark. Scrag to the ground. Umpire very close to the action. No infringement, according to him. So we'll have a bounce about 40 metres from goal.
Dale Waitman, in recent times, has been a great state player for Victoria. Redden and Stoneham to Scott. This will be a goal. Great play.
And wasn't that copybook football? Stoneham up high, across to Scott, to Mitchell, and a very, very quick hand pass across to Scott. Magic play, and that was just poetry in motion. Watch it, here it is, the quick handball from Mitchell across to Scott. And as I said, a picture, or Rod Stewart said it, Sandy, a picture tells a
Every picture
tells a story.
Centre bounce once again. 12 points is the margin. Victoria leads by, but they've got a chance through Couch to go down towards half forward. Sneaking clear is Mitchell, who's been dangerous. Towards Dana, who's had a great start to the game. Bang, he gets taken out of it. Loses the football. Play on is the call. Couch again goes in strongly, but it's Aish who repels the attack. It's pushed wide. The opportunity is there for Andrew Jarman. Gets it clear, and South Australia go out of trouble. Up towards the right half forward flank. Platten is at the back. He soccers it off the ground and out of bounds on the full. So Gary Lyon will take it at half back. Kicks long. Up towards centre wing. Madden. Stoneham at the back.
This is the most improved player in the VFL.
Stoneham short to half forward. Oh, he's got Waitman who can run on from 50. Inside 50. Looking for Dunstall, but he didn't quite go short enough. Should he have just gone on with it then and perhaps looked for Lockett, Don?
Well, maybe, Sandy, but I'm just interested about those small men there. Now, South Australian have got the good small men on paper, but what they are is attacking players. They're not defensive. And Waitman's starting to pick up a few kicks. They've got to tighten up as he gets a quick kick.
Waitman into the square. There's a Victorian mark, Dunstall. And that's that agility that Jason Dunstall has. And a bit of strength in his body. And a key play there from Waitman. But Dunstall giving Delaney something to think about. And Dunstall goals. Big Redden doing the ruck work. Madden had the run at it. Redden got the tap back. Kick off the ground by Abernathy wide. Chance now for Victoria through Couch. Kick towards full forward by Couch, and in front, a good mark, this time taken by Delaney. He's going to be forced to go back and take his kick over the man on the mark. And a player preparing to come on for South Australia is Mark Micken. The kick wide to the wing. Oh, great mark! Sensational stuff by Brown, running with the flight of the ball. The kick towards centre-half forward. Danaher can't mark. The hand pass out of defence came from Phillips. Now it lands with Bradley on centre wing. Hand pass over the top is constructive stuff to McGuinness. McGuinness running up through half forward. Kicks it towards full forward. Kernahan. A hard man to beat from in front. Long arms, big body.
That was just a great mark on that occasion. Better judgment. And he slipped in at the critical time, got in front of Chris Langford, Stephen Kernahan, and that was a good mark. Ability personified.
Kernahan has kicked one. Only about 15 metres from goal. Kick slews off the side. Disappointment on Stephen Kernahan's face. A behind to South Australia.
Costly miss, Ian. You can't afford to miss those ones so far out at a critical stage of this game. 25 playing 8.
Just wonder if that's a little boggy, that area where he kicked from there, Don.
Well, it is a bit boggy everywhere, and Victoria playing the huddle as Chris Langford plays out.
With a beautiful kick, almost down towards the centre. Madden tries to tap it over the back, scooped back to Bradley, who immediately sends it back towards Kernahan once again. But nipping in is Brown, who started magnificently for Victoria. Across to Lovett. Victoria out of strife again. Up towards centre wing. Stoneham could have got a bit of a nudge from Phillips, who opens the door for Craig Bradley. Again, he pumps it back somewhat blindly towards half forward. Brown is there, goes over the top towards Lovett. McGuinness took it out on the full.
Great eyes by the boundary umpire then.
Lovett at half back. Danaher saying send it in towards the centre, but he doesn't. He goes towards Stoneham. Phillips tried to do it with the one hand. Scooting clear is Mark Nailey. South Australia inside 50 once again. This time Kernahan doing it from behind. An opportunity for Darcy to go wide for Victoria. He does in towards the practice wicket area, and it'll still be pretty muddy out there. Scott. With him is Abernathy. Play allowed to go on. Nailey picks it up towards centre half forward. No mark taken. McGuinness waiting down in front, couldn't get clear. Kernahan working for the football, and the umpire decides that he'll take charge.
It's a great atmosphere, this, isn't it? It's just like a finals, a crowd involved, and the players certainly not letting them down.
And Victoria leading 4-1 to 1-2 as Lyon kicks it high towards the outer wing area. Scott does well to spoil Abernathy. Waitman is doing it on his own. He's surrounded by 4 South Australians. They ask the question, but it is not answered. So the ball to be thrown up on the outer side with Madden and Micken, who's come onto the ground, and it's Micken who gets a hurried left foot kick down towards half forward. No one able to get clear once again, and we'll have another ball up, this time on the 50-metre line for South Australia.
Yes, it is quite muddy still.
Yep.
You know, the ground looks terrific, but there's certain areas that are still very boggy. Right on the 50-metre line now, Smith tries to battle there with Simon Madden. The ball's on the bottom of those two players, Platten and Mitchell. The umpire will come in and ball it up. 50 metres from the South Australian goal. Victoria leading by 17 points. Smith takes the ball out. Chance now there for Tony Hall. Hand pass astray, and it's hurried over the boundary line by the Victorian defenders. Johnny Platten in the play. Andrew Buse there for Victoria. There's 6 minutes left. There's Big Smith. Very aggressive player for South Australia. Ball comes out the back. Chance now for Darren Jarman. He can't control it. Just gets his left foot to the ball. Into the pocket. Langford. Kick across goal. Couple of players in support. Shane Morwood. Plenty of space. Looking to give the hand pass. Now it comes off to Lyon. Lyon. 2 bounces. A 3rd bounce. Approaching centre wing. Down goes the Victorian player behind play. That was Darcy. Lyon's short kick is effective and the mark's taken by Brown. Sweeping hand pass. Now a chance for Victoria. Shane Morwood, who's come up from half-back. Thumping kick in towards full forward Dunstall and Delaney. Is that a free kick? No. Play-on, says the umpire. Very close to the action. Lockett can't grab the ball. Danaher shrugs the tackle. Kick off the side. Delaney's in the van. Scott. Delaney overruns it. Scott really struggling hard in the forward pocket for Victoria. He keeps it in and will have a ball up about 15 or 20 metres from goal.
It's a dynamo Scott, isn't he? 4-1 Victoria, South Australia 1-2. The Vics in attack. Log it to Dunstall. Oh, he's gone.
And wasn't that a quick goal there, just as he's being tackled? Jason Dunstall second. And Rocher on replay. Lockett in there, using his strength, and just at the critical time, tackled by Delaney. Dunstall goals. It's good to see the new insignia on top of the Victorian jumper instead of the V. It's now the Victorian emblem, which is the flag, the stars, and the little crest.
5-1 plays 1-2. Dunstall and Lockett, the two-pronged forward attack, have kicked 4 between them.
Now the South Australia starting to man up in the centre. Interesting stuff with Mickham in there to do ruck work, and he'll jump into Madden.
And here they go. Madden up early, almost got it down the throat of Waitman. Now Platten trying to get out for South Australia, but Pritchard is holding him there.
Interesting. I thought Madden came from the same side of the centre square as as Mickham did on that occasion. Should be pinged for that.
Let's see what he does this time in the centre bounce. Still virtually in the middle. Pushed down towards half forward. Phillips and Stoneham. Stoneham trying to surge it forward for Victoria. It's halted, however. Micken kicks it high, back towards half forward. Collins is there for Victoria. He'll be met by Hall. Gets the hand pass away towards Gary Lyon. Lyon spins out of trouble beautifully. From the half-back flank to centre wing is grand football, and Paul Couch picks it up for Victoria. Spears it in towards the centre and finds his teammate Andrew Buse.
Now in our terms that should be 50 metres, but it'll only be 15. It's a good delaying tactic by John Platten.
No 50-metre penalties today. It is NFL rules. That means 15 metres as Buse. Lockett the flyer. Scott in front. Threads through the hand pass. Lockett again. Bullocks his way clear. Goes onto the left foot in towards Dunstall. Hammered away from him by Bradley and through for one behind.
Well, we've played 25 minutes, Sandy, into this first quarter. You're going to concede defeat?
Not at the moment. Very, very early days. Don't worry, you had 6 weeks at South Adelaide. You're starting to win now too. In the full back line for South Australia, they're in trouble as Danny Hughes tried to get away. They've lost the football, and so Paul Couch. Danaher giving him a lead. It's ignored. Lockett's on his own.
If you want to ask questions about whether this is working, they've kicked 4 of the 5. This could be 5 of the 6 between them, Lockett and Dunstall.
There's a lot of loose checking going on down there as well, Ian. You just can't lead out as Lockett did on that occasion with Hughes metres behind.
Champion player, this guy.
70 goals in the VFL before he received an enforced holiday from the tribunal. But back today. And going for number 3 from 30 metres. There is number 3.
Here's
The top first half by Victoria, especially in the opening term when they booted 6-3 to 1-2 to lead by 31 points at the first change. And it was more or less goal for goal in the second term, Victoria only increasing its margin by 5 points to lead by 36 points at the main change. Of course, in view of the state game played today at the MCG, voting suspended for 1 week in the State Bank Player of the Year award, but tomorrow week it will resume on Sports World.
At the end of the 89 home and away season, the player voted the State Bank Player of the Year by
MCG now before 92,000 people, and we pick up play at the start of the third term, Victoria leading by 6 goals.
So here we go, into the third quarter of the State of Origin clash at the MCG. Madden back on the ball. Micken comes over the top. Platten gets the first effective kick down towards the half-forward line, but Lyon defends magnificently as he pushes it wide out in front of Scott. He's had a great day. Robert Scott kicks it high towards half-forward. He's looking for Stoneham. Has it fisted away from him. Danaher wide to Waitman. Sweeps it even wider to Pritchard. In towards the forward pocket area. Scott will see it over the line. So a throw in Victoria's attacking zone. The right forward pocket. Victoria leading by 6 goals. Lockett with absolute strength. Although he got the tap down, it was South Australia who take it away through Craig Bradley, who bounces it over half-forward. Clean bowls everyone. Here's a chance for Tony Hall. Set sail for goal. How will it bounce? It goes to the left, and 1 behind on the board for the Crow Eaters. And Hall looking in a spot of bother.
And he doesn't look too good. He's holding that knee. Let's hope it's not too bad, but oh, look at him grimacing.
Langford back into play. We'll keep an eye on Hall. He's still on the ground. Madden marks between half-back and centre wing. Plays on quickly. Goes over the top. Tap forward towards Micken. Micken goes back again to McGuinness. Onto the right boot. He kicks it, but straight back to Simon Madden.
Madden, 2 kicks within a minute on that half-back line for Victoria. From a standing start, kicks it high towards centre half forward. Big punch away by Micken. Somehow the hand pass comes out to Couch. He gets it out to Lovett. Lovett onto Lyon. Lyon in the centre of the MCG. Kicks it down forward, and Dunstall. Perfect lead. And a great pass by Gary Lyon. And Dunstall will have a shot from 45 metres. And behind play, bad luck for South Australia because Tony Hall in lots of trouble with his right knee.
Those trainers want to get a wriggle on too and get him off the ground.
Dunstall shot for goal. The high drop punt will drop short. Big thump by Danny Hughes. And it goes over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Well, they're going to have to hold play up here, I think, because the stretcher is coming out now. And this is tragic news, not only for South Australia, but also for Hawthorn.
And he doesn't look good. And having been in that situation, Ian, you wait. It seems an eternity, doesn't it, for assistants to come out. And I really did feel for Tony Hall there. He was in pain, and he's still in pain.
Terrible bad luck.
Oh, let's hope it's not too bad, but it doesn't look good. He's still holding his head.
He got the kick away in a fairly boggy area there at centre half forward. Great chasing by Collins to drag him to the ground, and obviously his knee buckled underneath him, and he's in a lot of trouble.
Real trouble.
And you're right, Sandy. I think Hawthorn supporters would be ruining this moment.
He's been a great player for them.
Very skilled player, Tony Hall.
Incidentally, it was a teammate who brought him down, Andrew Collins.
Yes, he won't be too happy, I guess, either, Andrew Collins, because Hawthorn halfway through the season looking pretty good for successive premierships in the club competition.
So it looks as though Darren Jarman will come back out onto the ground. But a considerable hold up in play while Tony Hall is taken from the ground. We might be able to just pick up what happened here. Now, Hall is claimed by Collins, and obviously when he was taken to ground on.
It didn't look good, didn't it? That's the simple things that usually cause the accident. It didn't look terribly bad, but obviously it was a bad twist.
Well, let's hope that it's not too serious for Tony Hall. As play will get underway once again now. The situation is we have a throw-in in the left forward pocket. Micken and Lockett
Although umpires can't start the game until this stretcher is completely off the arena. Yeah. Although it is over the boundary line, it is not completely off the arena. And they will want, well, naturally enough, they want to prevent an accident, and it could happen in that situation.
Yes, they've got another 30 metres or so before he's taken down the race. And let's go down to the boundary line. Robert Klopp, any news, Robert?
Yeah, well, it's definitely his right knee, and it's the trainer for South Australia was really holding it firm. The knee looked very, very sloppy, and he's in enormous pain.
Well, that's tragic.
Absolutely no doubt that he won't take any further part.
Thank you, Robert. So Micken, Lockett, Greg Phillips, Terry Danaher, and a concerned South Australian camp led by John Cale. Throw in the left forward pocket.
Lockett jostling Micken. Lockett gets the tap down. A struggle there. Lindsay on the bottom of the pack for South Australia, and the umpire will come in and bounce. The play about 25 metres from the Victorian goal. Lockett again to do the ruck work. High over the top, Micken gets the tap down. A kick out by Abernathy. Chance now for Brown. Great gather. Hand pass out to Buse. Back it goes to Couch. Gets a little bit of space for himself, and the left foot kick is just offline and through for a behind. Gavin Brown, what a player he's been.
What an effort that was to run straight like that. You don't see it too often in today's
you like
football.
those players, don't you, Don? Hey, you love them.
You got to stand
Delaney's kick in towards the centre half back position. Couch takes the mark. He plays on off to Brown. Brown's kick into the forward pocket. High over the top, Delaney's big thump reaches the boundary line and will have a throw in about 20 metres around from the Victorian goal. So only a behind to each side has been added in this third quarter. Micken's tap down. Scott gets the hand pass out. McGuinness intercepts. Wakeman swoops on the football. Nearly well tackled. Slips the tackle. Pritchard fumbles. And the ball goes over for another boundary throw in. Just inside the 50-metre line, the Vics in attack.
We're talking about a lot of South Australia's smaller running players swinging this game, but a few have been pretty quiet. Tony McGuinness is trying desperately to get into it. Here's Gary Lyon, just forward of centre. There are loose players everywhere. Wakeman is on the right half forward flank, too far out to score, but we know of the attack he's got up forward. He lets fly, looking for Dunstall. Through three South Australians, eventually picked up by Mark Micken. Comes wide to the outer side. Stretch and Brown. Stretch trying to get through Stoneham now. Brown over the top. And it will be a free kick against him. Hasn't done too much wrong today, Brown, but on that occasion was not very subtle. Stretch over the centre. And a fine mark from behind. Taken by Tim Darcy. Darcy to a fairly congested half-forward zone. Pushes it out wide. Lindsay and Danaher. Danaher against two of them. He's still down there trying to get it out. Stoneham to Wakeman. Good football. Oh, here's a chance for Scott. 40 metres out, but he pushes it right across the face of goal. And one behind only is the result.
She had a chance to hand pass then, Don, I thought. Maybe, Scott?
Well, he could have. It might have been on Ian, but it was still a bad miss. He really wasn't far enough out from goal to miss.
Roger Delaney. Oh, sensational kick back into play. Almost to the centre of the ground. At the back is Craig Bradley. He's been pretty quiet too. Bradley onto the left foot. Long in towards full forward. Aish came over the top with no effect, however. And once again, Victoria through Lovett are able to get the ball clear. Collins and Platten. Club teammates again. Clash. Lyon lending great support. But good pressure on that occasion by Johnny Platten. Sees the ball forced over the line.
Yes, the Victorians should have made more of that then. It was Platten against four. It was about a 3-on-4 situation, and the Victorians really didn't show any composure.
Madden over the top in that ruck contest. The umpire sees that Simon Madden has infringed against Darren Smith, and Smith to take the free kick for South Australia. The kick to the front of the square, perfectly positioned. Good thump away by the Victorian defence. Lyon on the bottom of the pack, feeds it out rugby style to Langford. Langford's hand pass is astray, and the South Australians, with desperation, keep the ball on their forward line, well within scoring distance. It's about 30 metres out directly in front, and they could do badly with a goal. Madden, Kernahan gets the tap out over the top. Couch. Back it goes to Lovett. His thump on finds Pritchard. Pritchard in the back pocket. No one home for Victoria. Bradley takes the mark. A hand pass off to Whittlesey. He slips. Gets the hand pass to Mick, and he's well tackled by Couch. The big man goes down. Abernathy from a standing start. Kicks it high to centre half forward. No mark taken by Madden. Nailey has the football taken off him by the big Victorian captain. And at centre half forward for South Australia will have another bounce. So both sides really testing each other in the early part of this third term. Smith, Madden over the top. Gets it out the back. Pritchard infringed against, and Pritchard takes the free kick. A hand pass to Lovett. Lovett's hand pass to his Melbourne teammate Lyon. Lyon's high kick towards the wing. Marking contest, Stoneham in the middle of two South Australians. Hughes the first to recover. Kicks it back towards half forward. A South Australian mark to their captain, Aish. Aish plays on quickly. Round onto the right foot now. Drop punt kick to within goal scoring distance. No mark. At the back. Kick off the ground. It's going to bounce through. It's a goal. South Australian goal.
Melbourne like 790 News, North Melbourne.
7 is the football station. We have the best team. We break the big stories. Great to be part of the 7 Nightly News team.
Nobody knows Melbourne like 7.
From the centre, can South Australia come back? Putting his head down was Bradley. Did get the handball out, however. It's a high kick towards half forward. And the umpire's decision says it will go to Gary Lyon. Madden loose in the centre circle. Oh, he's too slow to get his kick, however. Slewed off the side of the boot. Brown with coverage. Bradley also. And it's Bradley who gets it out for South Australia. Gives it across to Abernathy. High towards the half-forward line. Another one here to make it interesting. Langford to the outer side. Chasing his Pritchard, and he gets there in time to take it on the chest. He's got Bruns loose on centre wing. Finds him. That'll be 15.
I was going to say 50.
Only 15 today. So Neville Bruns playing in his first state game. Long and low. Danaher!
What a great mark. The South Australian gave a little nudge. I think it might have been Lindsay.
Just too tall for Lindsay on that occasion. Bruce Lindsay, the Torrens captain. Terry Danaher, just out of position. Lindsay.
He's had a good day, Terry Danaher.
He's an enormous player.
Has kicked one goal. That was in the second quarter. He shoots from 40 metres out. It's there. Another one to the big V.
He is a great player, Terry Danaher. He's an amazing fellow. Started at South Melbourne, actually as a full forward, and was involved in a swap with Neville Fields in the early or late 70s. And a player that at South Melbourne did head the goal kicking list, the VFL goal kicking list, for a number of weeks initially in the early part of a season. And I was surprised to see him go from South Melbourne, but a very good player for Essendon.
Couch off, Watson on, and South Australia are preparing also to make a change. From the centre, there goes Watson trying to push the ball through. A chance for Lindsay, but it'll go back. It's a free kick and it'll be taken by Tony McGuinness. McGuinness on the defensive side of centre to put South Australia into attack. Good looking kick. Kernahan the target. Caught behind, he just tried to tap it on. Trying to thread his way through was Buse. Over the shoulder came Andrew Jarman, going in towards the left forward pocket and out of bounds on the full. So it will be Shane Morwood who will bring it back into play for Victoria.
Peter Bubner warming up on the boundary line, the Central District player. A great athlete is Bubner.
Morwood's kick back towards centre wing again. Danaher again flew high. Watson whips out the hand pass to the running Bruns. Neville Bruns from centre up towards Lockett at half forward. Can't complete the mark. The big man recovers well, but he needs support. Looks for someone going past. Stretch did well to knock it clear. A chance again, however, still with Stoneham. Pushes wide. Lockett Watson trying to create space from 50 metres, right on the boundary line. Watson brings it back, looking for Scott, but Greg Phillips, 1, 2, not paid the mark. And we will see a ball up just 15 metres out of the scoring zone.
A couple of mistakes there. Lockett really should have taken the mark earlier, and Phillips perhaps wondering that he wasn't really in the clear, and he could have taken that mark.
That's the pressure, Ian. That's indicative of the pressure when a player starts to fumble, as Phillips did on that occasion. Pressure.
Bounce in the forward zone. Lockett backhands it, looking for Dunstall. In the back pocket. Holding the ball. Waitman plays on. Is the advantage going to be paid? No, Dale. It was great to watch, but it's got to come back.
It's another part of football that you really have to have a good look at. Andrew Collins, his perseverance there was just perfect. Plays in the back pocket, but obviously has the tagging role on Nailey. Shut him out pretty well, hasn't he?
Certainly has. Let's see if he can finish it off like a forward. It's a fair kick. He's kicked it behind.
David Murphy warming up for Victoria, the number 5, the Sydney wingman.
We haven't seen him to date.
And Bubner's still standing there waiting to come on. When are they going to make a move, the South Australians?
He'll be cold. Delaney will kick the ball in for South Australia. The kick falls a little short. Punch away by Stretch. Chance for Whittlesey. Look at that desperado Brown on the bottom of the pack. It's a few pats on the head there from his teammates, and a ball up just outside 50 metres. Micken tries to get it out the back. Now a chance for Scott. Left foot shot for goal by Scott. High, short, Lockett a little too far, and it goes over on the full. So a free kick to South Australia will be taken by Delaney, and he's had some worrying moments on that full back line. Lockett has kicked 3 and Dunstall 2. Delaney's kick outside 50. Madden over the top, can't mark. Scott can't gather the football. It comes out the back. Lyon tackled by Bradley. Chance now for Andrew Jarman. Hand pass out wide. Gives Stretch the chance to run onto it. Stretch's kick. Kernahan can't mark. Good intelligent play. Smith runs into the open goal. His kick is short. Desperation shown by Buse. The ball's still in the field of play. Platten gets the hand pass over the top. The goal umpire signalling to the boundary umpire maybe that it was out of bounds, and we'll have a throw in about 10 metres around from the South Australian goal.
And Robert Scott off for Victoria, and Greg Phillips being replaced by Bubner at centre-half back for South Australia.
Boundary throw in. There's an infringement. A free kick will be taken by Kernahan. Chance for a South Australian goal, and a free kick perhaps against Simon Madden. So Kernahan, who's kicked 1 goal, 2, and the 2 behinds that he has kicked could quite easily have been goals. Kernahan's drop punt is straight through the centre.
Spellbinding international bestseller comes an electrifying motion picture. 3 bodies found in a Moscow park. A Soviet policeman set to find the killer. Is it the KGB, the ruthless American, the hunted girl, the New York cop? It's a $10 million international conspiracy, and he's the bait to unmask a traitor. A love story, a murder mystery of breathtaking excitement. Toyota presents William Hurt, Lee Marvin in Gorky Park, Monday on 7.
10-9 plays 5-7, and we've got 7.5 minutes left in this third quarter.
Over the line once again with Collins and Platten. As you saw moments ago, the lights are on here at the MCG. It is pretty dark, but I don't believe there is threatening rain at the moment. Hughes comes over the top. Brown overruns it. A chance for Bradley. Picks it up. A hurried kick, but kicked blindly. Straight to Madden. The big man runs into his Essendon teammate in Watson. Aish is able to thread his way through. Across to Jarman, back to Stretch. Is good football by South Australia. In towards full forward. Kernahan from the side. Can't take the mark. Is very quick to apply the tackle. But the umpire said a push on Gary Lyon. Lyon gets the hand pass away. Lovett takes the mark. And he is in the half-back line as Pritchard continues to run down, but he ignores him and goes for Morwood. On the outer side, Waitman is all alone. To half-forward, Danaher, 3 metres in front of Lindsay. Terry Danaher, a lead from Lockett into the pocket. He's got a prop, but he's got it.
Unbelievable stuff by Tony Lockett.
Hard man to move.
So wrapped he's in this team, Sandy. I mean, he's one of the best players I think we've seen for the last 25 years, Tony Lockett.
And Greg Anderson coming on for South Australia. There's Lockett about to line up.
Going for his fourth.
And they're all, Sandy, incidentally, all in the same vicinity.
Tony Lockett shoots. Tony Lockett goals.
4 goals. They've all come from that end of which he's kicking at the moment. 3 in the first quarter. Quiet second quarter. But Tony Lockett just too strong. The big body on that occasion. See how he just positioned himself. Bubner, who had the better spring, higher leap, got over the top of Lockett. But because Lockett is so big, he just warded Bubner off and he could get nowhere near the ball.
So the difference back to 38 points. Buse tries to struggle through. Somehow the kick comes out. Watson dispossesses and goes after it. Keeps his footing nicely. Murphy composed. David Murphy's kick into the forward line. Lockett!
Not paid.
Play on, says the umpire, and it's hurried over the boundary line. And we'll have a ruck contest in the left forward pocket for Victoria. Well, I've seen marks held shorter than that and paid. Micken doing the ruck work for South Australia. Stoneham over the top. Micken. Murphy can't get his kick away. Jarman. Danaher, kick off the ground by Platten. It's that centre half forward. Buse gets the hand pass magnificently out to Waitman. Waitman, snapshot for goal. Magnificent goal by Dale Waitman.
Gee, but what about the work of Buse? Andrew Buse, who was underneath the pack, and then somehow he got through the legs of the fellows at the centre half back position. Dale Waitman there, and it was put onto his chest. Well done, Andrew Buse. Watch this. Oh, here it comes now. Look. Oh, well done, little fellow.
Great kick by Waitman from about 45 metres. Play goes on from the centre bounce to Terry Danaher, off to Pritchard. Pritchard's kick into the forward line. Another mark to Lockett. Oh, look, plays on.
Dunstall's alone.
In the forward line. Dunstall marks. All over Red Rover. 12-9-81, 5-7-37, and another goal coming up for Victoria.
It's too easy, isn't it, at the moment? But we've waited 3 years, Sandy, and I've had to sit at home in the television and watch the South Australians do this. Victoria as Dunstall shoots. And Dunstall's 3rd goal. And 2 in the first. And his 3rd coming in the 3rd quarter. And Victoria's now starting to take a stranglehold. But again, he's just too big, Tony Lockett. That body is too much bulk. And quickly on to Dunstall. Watch how he keeps his eye on the ball despite the opposition there from Delaney. Jason Dunstall, good play, Victoria all round.
The chant goes up, and look at that sign, cremate the Crows. Not looking too flash at the moment. In fact, Simon and Madden and Tim Watson
Laurie Argent
have a bit of a chat with Laurie Argent, a very experienced umpire.
And one of the best umpires in Australia, Laurie Argent.
He's waiting on a new ball to come out. Now we're back with the action again. It'll be Micken and Madden. One by Madden, looking for Watson. Aish bounces off one, tries to get the hand pass away. Bradley quickly onto Abernethy. South Australia have got to do something desperately quickly. Darcy flicks it wide towards the boundary line. Collins could have been legged. The umpire allows play to go on as McGuinness is crunched over the line. Takes the ball with him, and we will see a throw in the left forward pocket, but South Australia trailing by 8 goals to 2.
Tony McGuinness was never going to get out of that, was he?
They're not allowing them time to spit the Victorians. Their defence is terrific, and the pressure.
Love it towards Danaher. Under pressure from Lindsay. Oh, but the veteran does really well. Down goes the umpire in the middle. He's recovered well too. Waitman is clear. Dunstall this time. Now he's got Lockett one out. Short. Oh, it props again, but he's in front. And has he got it? No, he hasn't. Play on is the call. Brown like a terrier. Shoots it in towards goal. Stoneham flicks it over his shoulder and misses.
And a lot of good work today, Barry Stoneham. That's the first time he's registered on the scoreboard, a point. And Danny Hughes has got the job at centre-half back on Stoneham now.
Is the kick from Hughes. Lindsay and Madden. Lindsay first to recover. Wide is Stretch. Bumper crowd here at the MCG. It'll be interesting to see what it is, but I can tell you that the gates were closed. Bradley under pressure from Bruns. Bradley does well. Goes back to Stretch. To half forward. Smith, can he get a chance? He has. Darren Smith will have a shot from directly in front, 40 metres out.
Very impressive display today. Smith only had 5 kicks, but he's won them very well.
He goaled in the second quarter and would dearly love this one. Good looking kick. He's popped through his second.
Playing at centre-half forward, as I mentioned earlier, or alternating now between the two positions, full forward and centre-half forward. Smith, he's still got that opponent, or he's got a new opponent in Gary Lyon now. But that was a good kick, and he is an impressive player. Probably the pick of the homegrown South Australians in this game today.
They're all homegrown, aren't they? 45 points, Victoria lead, 13-10, 6-7. Brown gets the ball out of that centre ruck contest. The ball runs free. Stretch just overruns it. Stoneham goes after it. Kick off the ground. Kernahan. Now a chance for Madden. He's put to ground. Chance for Brown again. He gets the hand pass out to Collins. Collins left foot kick up towards full forward. Over the top, Delaney can't control the football. And Waitman made sure that Lindsay was going nowhere, so we'll have a ball up just wide of centre-half forward, about 40 metres from the Victorian goal. Stoneham over the top. The ruck work was good. Watson's hand pass out to Bruns. Bruns' kick well smothered. Chance for Hughes. Kicks it back in towards the centre. Madden can't mark, or can he? Goes after it again. Taps it on.
Oh.
Chance for Terry Danaher. Down goes Anderson. The ball comes out the back. Now Anderson kicks up towards centre-half forward. And a good mark taken for Victoria by Darcy. Darcy plays on. Kicks it wide to the wing. Bruns diving. Great mark. Plays on quickly towards half forward. A mark to Pritchard. Vic's doing it a little too easily. Pritchard's kick in towards the forward pocket. Only seconds remaining. Punch away by Delaney. Collins. Waitman. Only one kick left perhaps. Murphy. Short pass. And here's that man again. Tony Lockett. The siren will sound to end the third quarter. And Lockett a chance to kick his fifth. Good vision there by Murphy. Lockett, 45 metres from goal. Only a couple of steps. The thumping kick is home.
Another excellent quarter by Victoria, once more outscoring South Australia to lead by 51 points at three-quarter time as we go to the bounce to start the final term.
14-10 to 6-7. Here we go. Final quarter at the MCG. Madden, Watson, a high kick by Tim Watson down towards half forward. Bruns buffeted out of it on that occasion by Greg Whittlesey, and a good mark. by Whittlesey as he kicks to the outer side, trying to find stretch, but beaten by Brown, who's been a sensation. So too is this man, Terry Danaher. Inside 50, Dunstall comes out. Watson was there. Waitman through the middle, out of the mud, back to Dunstall. Balks once, twice, onto the left foot, flicks it and goes into the square. Hughes on the last line of defence is pulled off it. Watson will make amends. He'll give it to Bruns. Bruns will goal, and I think the fat lady can start singing.
What can she sing, Sandy, or can she sing?
Anything she likes.
Gee,
Well, I know
that
she
must
got
be
it.
hard coming from Sandy's mouth, mustn't it, Tom?
I think she should have started singing when I initially nominated. That was early in the first quarter.
Oh, you
Sandy.
weren't prepared to have a go early.
I said that.
I've had 15 goals on the record here since early in the first quarter.
Anyway, let's feel sorry for Sandy. But anyway, Sandy's taken a long time for us to gloat. 3 years to be, in fact. Now we just got to get across there to South Australia and blitz them over there.
Gee, get a good man down and kick him.
Well, my word, it's terrific. Jump on him, man. You can take your turn now.
Oh, there you go. 15-10 plays 6-7. Bounce back in the centre. Madden, who's played a tremendous game in the ruck. A chance now for Darcy. His kick towards half forward. Whittlesey bumped off it. Bruns, good gather. Hand pass wide. Is this another one? Murphy, shot for goal, is off to the right and through for a behind. So it's perhaps not the start that South Australia would have preferred to this last quarter. Danny Hughes electing to go straight up the ground. Torpedo punt kick. No mark to Madden. Waitman, ever constructive. Murphy shot for goal is there.
Well, it seems to be a bit of a cakewalk, and aren't the crowd loving this? Yes, thoroughly getting behind the Victorians. And Danny Hughes now playing at the forward pocket, or the back pocket position on Tony Lockett. There was set up again. Madden quickly down. Waitman, Murphy, not a good kick off the boot, but a very accurate kick nonetheless. David Murphy, the Sydney Swans winger.
And so the margin is out to 64 points. Abernethy and Murphy. Bruce Abernethy throwing his hands in the air. What can I do? Well, let's see what happens from the centre this time. 16-11 plays 6-7. South Australia must win it out of the middle. They do on this occasion through Jarman down towards the half forward line. Smith can't take it with the one hand. Working hard is Pritchard at the bottom of the pack. Does have support. Thrown out to Lovett. Past Waitman, but he'll have time to recover. Over the top he goes to Brown. Dummies nicely, then sets up the hand pass. Dangerous, however, for Buse. Redden couldn't do anything in the middle. Bradley almost threw it out to Jarman, who gets it onto Platten, who spears it in towards Smith, who takes a good mark. He's got Aish back there in the square if he wants him. That's the way he heads. 4 Victorians surround him, literally. And it will be Morwood who'll take it away. Short to Lovett, who did play on. McGuinness applied the tackle, but he had time to get it back to Collins. Collins up towards centre wing, and the mark is taken by Terry Danaher.
Great game by this fellow.
Oh, he's been tremendous. Tremendous. Danaher towards Dunstall. Now this leaves Lockett and Hughes in the square alone. That's where he heads. But Lockett slips at the crucial time. He does have support, however. This is Bruns. Oh, he almost gave it to Murphy. Shoots in towards goal. Is it there? It hits the post.
Well, that could have been one of the 3-inch nails in the coffin, if there haven't been a few put in already. Danny Hughes kicks it towards the member's side. Punch away by Pritchard. The hand pass comes out from Brown to Bruns. Bruns tackled as he kicks the ball in towards the forward pocket. What a pickup by Lockett. That man is complete. Brown, Jarman push in the back against the South Australian player Anderson, and the free kick will be taken by Gavin Brown. Right on 50 metres. Short pass, a little too short. Nearly the mark taken by Bubner. Chased by Stoneham, but Bubner gets away. The left foot kick towards centre wing. Aish can't mark the ball. Nearly comes out the back. Chance there for Victoria's Brett Lovett. He couldn't get away with the football, and Aish picks himself up, looking a little tired. perhaps the scoreboard. Every time you look at the scoreboard, if you trail by 10 goals, I think the tiredness creeps in a little bit quicker. Pritchard on the bottom of the pack there for Victoria. And the umpire will come in and ball it up once again. Timmy Watson started the game on the interchange bench. Exciting player running with the football. John Cale with plenty of problems on his mind. Kernahan doing the ruck work. Platten comes out now to stretch. He can't break away. The Vics again will go into attack. This time it's Bruns up towards half forward. Bruns kicks to the front of the square. Dunstall! A little bit of assistance from Lockett to push his South Australian opponent out of the marking contest. And Dunstall will have a shot from 20 metres out directly in front.
Well, if it wasn't going to be Lockett, it was going to be Dunstall on that occasion. That time, Jason Dunstall.
He's kicked free. Pretty impressive statistics as Stoneham comes off to give Brereton another run at it. And Dunstall a chance for his fourth. Drop punt kick is okay.
You're looking sharp, you're looking good, you've come so far. We know how to make the most of who you are. Father to son, it's what we've always done. To let the best of men get. On so many faces, it's plain to see. We give you all we have to give, for all a man can be. Where the race is run, you're the champion.
Gillette Contour Plus with lubricating strip for the best a man can get.
The best a man can get.
We're back in the centre as Madden swipes it down to Watson. Here they go again. Dunstall out in towards the pocket, pushing the ball along in front. Still keeps it in play. Still it goes. Now Watson, who was the one who got it out of the centre, unfortunately for Victoria, takes it over the line.
I think Mark Nayley must be on the interchange bench for South Australia. I haven't seen him here, and his number, Andrew Collins, has completely put him out of the game and picking up Tony McGuinness now.
Throw in the left forward pocket. Bubner is there. Murphy also for Victoria. Watson claimed by Lindsay. But claimed with a push. And so Tim Watson will take the free kick. 40 metres out, 45-degree angle. So Victoria bouncing back with a vengeance after their 3 losses on the trot at Football Park in South Australia. And Tim Watson, the chance to add to the woes of South Australia. He shoots with a drop punt. It's a magnificent kick. There's another one to the Big V.
Well, it may be becoming a little bit monotonous, these number of goals the Victorians are kicking, but they're certainly carrying on and playing still good football. A little arrogant on occasions, especially in the third quarter, and McGuinness going off, and now Mark Nayley coming back on for South Australia. But Tim Watson started on interchange and has been doing some good work creating in that centre square area.
18-12 plays 6-7 back in the centre once again won by Madden, but Lindsay tries to storm through. Madden looked to sock it off the ground. Platten gets clear. A short kick up towards half forward. Morwood stands his ground and takes a fine mark. Plays on quickly to Darcy, sweeps it wide to Collins. The defence doing it easily for Victoria as he goes even wider on the wing and finds Neville Bruns. Bruns with a long kick. Brereton and Bubner. Lindsay waiting down in front, scoops it clear to Platten. Onto the left foot and over the centre he goes. Langford is there, went up with the one hand. Kernahan chasing him. Darcy puts his body over the ball and the umpire decides that he will take charge. 120 plays 43.
Sandy, when South Australia have had the crunch on the Vics, it's always been their smaller players, and they've been very quiet today, haven't they?
They certainly have. In fact, many of them have spent a lot of time on the interchange bench, just unable to get into the game.
Just looking at Johnny Platten's stats there, he's had 11 kicks and 5 hand passes, probably been the best of the 3 or 4 small players.
Mark Nailey, 1 kick, Ian.
Well, I think that tells the story. Buse out to Pritchard. Pritchard's kick towards centre half forward. Brereton! Waitman running into the pocket. Look at the 2 key forwards looking for the ball. Brereton goes in that direction. There's one of them. Lockett, unbeatable on that full forward line. Lockett's got Brereton closer to goal in the square. How easy is that?
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1989 Premiership season.
Victoria running out convincing winners by 86 points. Lockett 5, Dunstall 4, Brereton 3. The major goal kickers, Kernahan got 4 for South Australia in front of a crowd of 91,960, a record. And Gary Pert, incidentally, won the super kick contest at half-time, and he'll now represent the Australian Rules Code in the super kick kick-off on grand final day. Let's kick ourselves up to the offices of the Sunday Press, and as we say, a very good evening to Scotty Palmer.
Good evening, Peter.
Well, I guess, Scotty, let's start on a bad note. Tony Hall looks like being out for the season. He was reported and injured, not his day.
Yes, he tore a lateral ligament in his knee and will be sidelined for 10 weeks according to the doctor, 6 months according to Hawthorn. It's bad luck. He was one of the favourites, of course, for the Brownlow medal, so there's another one to bite the dust. It's the same knee that he injured 2 years ago and had an operation on for a medial ligament. And, of course, he's in Viamie House tonight and he's waiting for surgery when all the doctors are prepared to do it.
Well, if you're watching Tony, all the very best and a very speedy recovery. And speaking of full forward, Scotty, Tony Lockett, I understand, addressed the side. Is that right?
Yes, he was given the privilege of having a few words with the teammates before the match today, and just stressed what playing state football meant to him. Of course, he's been under a little bit of pressure lately, so it was a good psychological ploy by the Victorian selectors.
And Darren Jarman played fairly well for South Australia, but he's not keen to go to the Bears.
Brother Andrew, it is. Yes.
Andrew Jarman.
He's drafted by the Bears, and we asked him after the match. Of course, he won the Foss Williams medal today for the best South Australian. He's a bit apprehensive about going to the Bears. He doesn't like the position they are on the ladder and a few of the players they've got running around at the moment. But it'll take some smart talking by the Bears officials to get him up there into Brisbane.
We've got just about a minute left, Scotty, but excellent crowd, a record crowd. Platten and Dermot Brereton had an altercation, is that right? What happened?
A couple of teammates, yes. Of course, Platten was tagged beautifully by Buse all day today. Didn't do a real good job for South Australia. And what was worse, Dermy picked up a clod of mud and rubbed it right up his nose. Very, very unfortunate.
Coach's comments, were they predictable or otherwise?
Pretty predictable. No excuses from John Cale. He said, I don't care where we play next time. But he said, I'm disappointed for our players and the state. Billy Goggin had said, it's an occasion our players will never forget. We have eliminated the past.
And there's only one thing to say, Scotty.
And that's keep punching, Pete.
And we'll look forward to your column tomorrow in the Sunday Press. Scotty Palmer. And that just about takes us out from Saturday night replay, the big State of Origin game. Don't forget a big day of sport tomorrow. Sports World, the basketball at 12 noon, the Cannons and the Super Cats, and of course live football from Tasmania tomorrow from 2 o'clock. A very good evening to you all.
Stay on 7 now for MacGyver. At 8:30, be watching for Alistair McLean's brilliant thriller, Bear Island. An expedition to the Antarctic, and all but one will be the victim of a horrible death. Donald Sutherland, Vanessa Redgrave, Lloyd Bridges and Richard Woodmark star in Bear Island. 8:30 tonight, here on 7. This has been a 7 Sport presentation for the Australian Television Network.
Of good weather still to come.
Well, they say there may be a change tomorrow, but the temperature will still be around about the 26 mark, and of course...
Victorians love football. We invented the game. We've done it before. We'll do it again. It's a claim to fame. No pain, no gain. It's all we know.
And welcome back to Sports World, and good morning everyone. Welcome to an hour of football now, having a big look at yesterday's tremendous clash at the MCG with that huge record crowd. And we've got a big hour lined up for you. Wherever you're watching, I hope you can enjoy it. 91,960 to be precise, packed the MCG. And after a big drought, State of Origin football was back at football's greatest ground.
The State of Origin football back at the MCG, and I see Lockett and Dunstall both down in the square for Victoria.
And the big question was, how would they go? The two big guns up forward.
Tony Lockett, he's already kicked one. Drop punt, it's okay.
Ball one.
This time Lockett palms beautifully with the left hand to Dunstall.
Lockett to Dunstall. Oh, he's gone.
The kick wide to the wing.
Tremendous mark by Gavin Brown, had a big day.
Whittlesey's kick in towards the centre. Couch, crash goes
Couch and Smith clash.
Brereton props, which was a mistake.
Great play here by Scott. The Geelong boys combined.
He's kicked it. The wave is
Then, of course, we had the wave, but it was interesting because the members refused to get involved.
All participating.
And they drink the boo as it goes past the members because the members don't want to get included.
It was South Australia who take it away.
Joy for some yesterday, but not for others. Tony Hall.
Here's a chance for Tony Hall.
His Hawthorn teammate brings him to the ground, and that was the end of the day for Tony Hall.
Hall looking in a spot of bother.
Right knee.
And he doesn't look too good. He's holding that knee. Let's hope it's not too bad.
Aish plays on quickly. Round onto the right foot now. Drop punt kick to within goal-scoring distance. No mark.
Little joy for South Australia. This time Jarman soccers off the ground.
It's a goal.
And goals.
South Australian goal.
Abernethy meets Dale Waitman. Tremendous play here from Buse. Just watch the way he gets this ball out.
Gets the hand pass magnificently out to Waitman. Waitman, snapshot for goal. Magnificent goal by Dale Waitman.
Gee, but what about the work of Buse? Andrew Buse.
Waitman through the middle.
Waitman in the action again.
Back to Dunstall.
Across to Jason Dunstall.
Flicks it.
And they make it look easy down here as Hughes loses it.
Watson will make amends.
Watson on to Bruns.
Bruns will goal, and I think the fat lady can start singing.
Pritchard
Dermot Brereton
forward.
was brought back in the final quarter.
Danaher tries
he
to
kicked 3 goals and really was a live wire.
A very difficult angle. What will he do? Open up the goal face by going to his left? We'll
try the banana kick.
The check side from South Australia.
And he makes no mistake with the check side, Don Scott.
The ball goes wide. Now Bruns.
There are the Geelong boys in action once again. Buse on the left foot, and he is absolutely delirious with that one.
That's incredible. Look at Teddy Witt. TJ is elated.
And elation for Victoria and bitter disappointment for the South Australians. John Cale joins us this morning. Welcome back. Time now to get the Victorian point of view of Victoria.
Magnificently out to Waitman. Waitman snapshot for goal. Magnificent goal by Dale Waitman. Torpedo punch.
David Murphy.
No mark to Madden.
Victoria.
Waitman. Ever constructive. Murphy's shot for goal is there.
A very difficult angle.
Dermot Brereton,
Open up
Victoria.
The goal face by going to his left. We'll
try the banana kick.
The check side from South Australia.
It's there.
And completing our contenders, Andrew Buse,
Buse will have
Victoria.
a shot for goal. Buse, it's close. It might be another one. Look at Andrew Buse.
7 Victorian goals.
Here comes the diesel train with a steel refrain. Hear me knocking. The diesel's here to stay. He's gonna win the day, so hear me knocking. Listen to the chatter of the diesel board. Generate 2,700 horse. Camp that's rolling while the rockets rock. Hear me knocking. I'm so beautiful. I'm bumping iron.